Hello there, guys and girls. This is the Prussian Prince winner Total War Attila tournament match, and this is the Fury of Barbarians tournament, and it's the round of 8 match between Iraklis of Greek clan and Armenian king of HL. And the first game we have, let's see, we have Iraklis in command of the Burgundians and Armenian king in command of the Langobards. So now that we're in slow motion, we can go over the builds. Let's go over the Langobards. So we have Germanic Nobles General with this Fear ability, interestingly enough. Not Brace or anything else. Then we have 4 Germanic Archers and 3 Noble Germanic Horsemen on each flank. I mean, that's pretty standard by now, right? Up front we see 2 Scaled Clubmen, and then on the flanks 2 Horse Slayers. We also have 2 Godhandsmen, so this build is pretty decent brought here by the Langobards. As for the Burgundians, let's see. We have, wow, this build looks pretty crazy. Interesting, that is. Burgundian Guard General with Fast Charge, Bronze 1, and then we have 3 Burgundian Axemen. Make that 6 Burgundian Axemen. Then we have a lot of skirmishers, so let's see, Germanic, how many Germanic Archers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Germanic Archers and the rest bows. So let's see, how many bows was it? 1, 2 bows and 5 Germanic Archers, so that's 7 in total. That is crazy. And I assume 6 Royal Lancers. Is it 1, 2, 3? Indeed, 6 Royal Lancers. So this build brought here by the Burgundians, aka Iraklis, is pretty damn good, I must say so. Like, it looks very, very intimidating, to say the least. But yeah, let's see how this battle is actually going to commence, because it's all about the Royal Lancers getting the charges off properly onto the Noble Germanic Horsemen, because if they do, the Noble Germanic Horsemen will disintegrate, and then the Burgundian Axemen support is going to do far better than the Horse Slayer support, I think. But we'll see how that goes, because, I mean, these guys are, I mean, these units are good, yes, but they're mostly anti-cavalry units and not really anti-infantry. They will do not so great against the infantry. But we will see how that works, though. So yeah, over here, precision shot enabled. I mean, definitely, the Langobards are going to lose this engagement for sure, because it's just 4 Germanic Archers against 5 Germanic Archers and 2 Germanic bows. So this is not a good engagement at all for the Langobards, in my opinion. So I don't know, like, he's gonna have to, Langobards are gonna have to attack somehow, but how are the Langobards going to attack into this on any flank? 3 Royal Lancers and then all those Burgundian Axemen. Just like, it just feels so difficult to actually attack into. I mean, this is just gonna be insanely difficult to attack. But yeah, now the Germanic Archers doing a hell of a lot of damage right now to the Langobard Archers. But here comes the cavalry for the Langobards going into that formation, which is great. Actually, it's gonna help a lot against the Royal Lancers, I think, so that's good. But we're gonna have a lot of 1v1 fights, but the Horse Slayers will come in to support before the Burgundian Axemen, so that is important. But here, though, it's kind of gonna be like the opposite, so the Burgundian Axemen will get in much quicker and destroy the Noble Germanic Horsemen. So I think this is gonna be a really bad engagement here for I mean, I can easily tell that this engagement is going to be very bad for the Langobards. But this engagement over here, I don't think it's as bad for the Langobards, but I think it's still going to be bad because the Burgundian Guard and the Burgundian Axemen are getting in here like really quickly. They're going to do very well in melee against all these Horse Slayers and such. Yeah, and now more Burgundian units coming in. Like, as you can see, Noble Germanic Horse got killed here. So that allowed the Godhandsmen to be charged by frenzied Royal Lancers. You don't want that to happen to you. And now this Scaled Clubman is over here. basically this flank, as expected, got destroyed. The Burgundians really did well here. And the Burgundians also doing really well here. As you can see, Horse Layers will die to Burgundian Axemen. Same thing over here. And I mean, it's probably especially because of this Burgundian Guard supporting here. That was the general unit. And that is basically game. So it's game 1 over and in favor of Iraklis. This was very decisive. I mean, as I said, the Burgundians won both flanks quite easily, in my opinion. Like, I just have a really hard time. I mean, how is the Langobard player going to win here? Like, I'm trying to think really hard, like, with that build against the Burgundian build. That Burgundian build is fairly insane, as you can see. It's very, very good in my opinion. But yeah, that is the game. So currently 1-0 for Iraklis. We'll see what game 2 brings us. This is game 2 again on plains. I guess they'll play all the games on plains. But yeah, the interesting thing in this tournament is that actually the Royal Lancers are not banned at all. So Burgundians are extremely strong in this, or not even limited. So that definitely something to keep in mind. But and yeah, it's max 6 cavalry and max 8 foot skirmishers. Max 6 of the same, 14 infantry max 4 pikes, usual stuff. But Alani Noble Cav is banned, by the way. Very important to note, and General is included in all the limits. Just saying in case you needed to know the rules again. But I did talk about them in previous tournament matches. Anyway, in this game we have Iraklis playing as the Jutes and Armenian King playing as the Huns. So go over the builds really quickly. I mean, both builds already look fairly intimidating at a first glance. Let's see. So, Huns. Steppe Warlord General, not Chieftain, interestingly enough. Bronze 3 with, again, the Fear ability. And then 3 Noble Steppe Cataphracts on the right, 2 Noble Steppe Cataphracts on the left here. And a bunch of infantry units. It seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 War Warriors, and on the flanks we have Hunnic Dismounted Warband. So I really like this Hunnic build as well. Like, so many step bows, it's like, what, 6 of those? I think that's a pretty strong build for the Huns, in my opinion. Now let's look at the Jutes build. We see Nordic Raid Leader with Bronze 3, Fast Charge. Now a lot of cavalry as well. I think probably 6 Nordic Horse Lords. Vanilla, yeah, looks like it. Very good choice, of course. And here's the interesting deviation. 6 Nordic band up front. And then we have all these axes behind. So no skirmishes whatsoever. Kind of using the Nordic band as like meat shield because they're really cheap, but they do have javelins. So yeah, behind those we have a bunch of Huskarls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Huskarls. And a 7th unit, but it's just a Nordic axe word. I really like this Jutes build as well. So both players brought what I would consider to be very good builds. Now the thing is, I don't think this is gonna go well for the Huns, but we will see. So once these step bows start firing, Nordic band should drop rapidly because they have poor armor, poor morale, and poor health. Like, everything is so bad about them that they're just gonna die quickly to arrows. But not the single unit is being focused. So yeah, but I mean, what are you going to do against them? Because War Warriors are coming in, but it's already what the Jutes want, I think. So the Nordic band are getting in, but I think they're getting in a bit too quickly. This is a mistake, though. I think this is a definite mistake by the Jutes. I was going to say that it was a mistake from the Huns, but this is a mistake from the Jutes. Because all these cavalry units for the Jutes are far behind, and then the axes are far behind as well. So where was the support? As you can see, the oars, they didn't lose a single man, and they destroyed all those Nordic band. So all the funds spent in the Nordic band just got completely wasted here. And now, though, we will see Noble Steppe Cataphracts charging into Nordic Horse Lords, and same thing over here. So the beginning went really horribly for the Huns, in my opinion. But we'll see how the rest of the game goes, because Nordic Horse Lord is going to get an excellent charge here onto the Ur Warriors. More Huskarls coming in as well, destroying these Noble Steppe Cataphracts, but not the Steppe Cataphracts destroyed this Nordic Horse Lord as well, so we'll see how this goes. Noble Steppe Cataphracts getting in here, but not the best charge, it seems. I'm not sure. Same thing over here, they got in, but one of them should pull out, I think. And the Steppe Warlord is now engaged. He won't do very well against Axes and against Nordic Horse Lords. More engagements going on here. Ur Warrior is going to engage, but Huskarls should do fine because they got an excellent charge, I think. Wow, look at the Ur Warriors dropping very quickly here. Nordic Band coming in to support, so I think despite how well it went for the Huns in the beginning, looks like the Jutes are still gonna be able to break through here. Nordic Raid Leader doing very well here, supporting the Nordic Horse Lords as well. This is gonna be a fight won by the Jutes on this flank, and on this flank, wow, it's just went totally in the Jutes' favor. Huskarls here are gonna kill the Noble Steppe Cataphracts, of course, and these Huskarls gonna kill the Urs. Nice charge here by the Noble Steppe Cataphracts, but is it going to make the difference though? I think the units here are still going to do well for the Jutes. I don't think they actually have an attack order, because they were not fighting against the Urs. More cavalry coming in, but not the good angle by these Nordic Horse Lords. They should have just gone around, but looks like it's not going to matter. The Ur Warriors are still going to rout off the field. Noble Steppe Cataphracts might get a decent charge here and stop all these units for a couple of moments. Yeah, the charge getting a lot of kills for 12 men, wow, and doing very well despite, wow, it actually routed the Nordic Horse Lords here, but still not looking very good for the Huns at all. I mean, they're doing good here against the Nordic Raid Leader, that's definitely a good move, but if the Jutes General dies, okay, maybe there's hope for the Huns, but even if the General dies, it's still gonna be really difficult. Some nice charges here into the Nordic Horse Lords, but still, I don't see it happening. Urs now getting rear charged by Nordic Horse Lords. Nordic Axe Warriors, just very, very interesting build here by the Jutes. I really, really like this build, definitely. Nordic Horse Lords pushing through right now for the Steppe Bows. And Steppe Warlord here is in the back, unable to do too much. All these Huskarls and Nordic Horse Lords going on to the flanks, and just so much damage done by them. Now the archers are going to get charged completely. At this point it's just over. I'm gonna zoom in on these Cataphracts and watch them get destroyed by all these Huskarls. I mean, they are not having a good time here, and you can easily tell that. Wow, that guy just got shot off his horse. And more of these Huskarls chasing off these chasing after all these archers, which are gonna probably just chain route at this point. Huskarls chasing after them, and a defeat. So Iraklis, I mean, it looked very bad for him in the beginning because his Nordic bands got in there and they didn't throw their jabs off. They didn't do anything. And besides that, I mean, that was the first mistake. The second mistake was that the Nordic Horse Lords were not able to support that fight, and the Huskarls were not able to support that fight either, because I mean, it would have been very, very amazing, and it would have been much more decisive for him if he actually was much closer with his cavalry and with his infantry, I think. But they were like extremely far behind, which I think was his issue here. Because if he blobbed up all the Ur warriors and then, or even better yet, got his Nordic bands charged by the cavalry of the Huns, interesting to say that, but indeed, like, that's a tactic, and then you can charge back into your Nordic Horse Lords into them, or get your Huskarls in to support, and then they wouldn't really be able to pull out without taking massive casualties. I think that would have gone much better for Iraklis, but still his build, like, was such a really good build, and it carried him throughout the whole, I mean, it still carried him. I really, really like this build. Still, of course, some things that could have been done better by the Huns here, but by Armenian King, but still very, very interesting game for sure. Yeah, that is game 2, currently 2-0 for Iraklis. We'll see how game 3 goes. And this is game 3, currently 2-0 for Iraklis in this best of 5, I believe, but still not going too well at all for Armenian King so far in this match. We'll see though if he can pull this one back. Sorry about that. Ooh, never mind. Just doing things in the background. Time to put it in slow motion and tell you the situation. So we have Iraklis as the Visigoths and Armenian King as the Sassanid Empire. Time to go over Sassanid Empire build. We have up front 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Persian bows. We have the Persian noble gold 1 general, again with Warcry, and then probably 5 Pushtigbun cataphracts. Indeed, 5 Pushtigbun cataphracts. These guys are pretty damn good, to be fair, but I mean they're still wonder about their cost efficiency. Then we have, seems to me like a lot of elite Dalamite infantry. It's 6 of those, indeed. Now let's see the Visigoth build. Interesting. So Germanic noble general, bronze 3 with fast charge on an infantry general. Very interesting. Then we have 3 noble Gothic lancers on the right, 3 noble Gothic lancers on the left, so he completely avoided the noble Germanic horsemen, interestingly enough. Then in the center we have 4 Gothic pikemen supported by 4 Germanic archers. On the flanks we have 3 Thracian warriors on the left, and looks like 2 Thracian warriors on the right with the general, so definitely seems to be an interesting Visigoth build that I don't see too often. I'm completely, like, what weirds me out is the number of pikes, and not only that, but these noble Gothic lancers. I find that to be a bit weird, but right now you can see the Persian bows targeting the pikes. They're not deciding to go after the Germanic archers. And I mean the pikes, you can see, look at their armor and their health. It's not very good, so they're gonna drop very quickly. While the Germanic archers are targeting the Persian bows, which I guess is okay because the Persian bows are not that expensive. So I guess this trade by the Sassanids is potentially alright, yeah. We'll see how much, because the Germanic archers will really be out of ammo at some point. I mean, there's 4 against 6 Persian bows, and the Persian bows are a lot cheaper, so definitely I like this engagement for the Sassanid Empire. Whoops, I did not want to do that though. But yeah, I really like this. So this Gothic pikeman is going to be off the field and is now under fire projectiles. So they're taking a lot of damage, but honestly I would have used standard shot against Gothic pikes. Because, yeah, still, I guess they still have a bit of armor, so standard shot wouldn't be too bad at all here in this situation. But look at the Germanic archers using so much ammo, and they still haven't killed the Persian bows yet. Now the Gothic pikes, this unit's gonna get targeted and will soon rout. Let's look at it. It's in pretty bad shape, 16 morale. And now look at these Gothic pikes taking all the damage. I mean, 2 of them seem to be basically almost dead here. And not only that, but the other Gothic pikes are taking significant casualties. So definitely this trade here has gone amazingly well for the Sassanids, I think. I mean, almost getting rid of 2 Gothic pikes and then wasting all the ammo on the Germanic archers, I think is definitely good. And now the noble Gothic lancers pulled back by the Visigoths. I mean, if the Persian bows could actually target noble Gothic lancers and do significant damage to them, now they will, so. But I don't think they'll actually hit them, or will they? I think they may have. So very, very nice job here by the Sassanids. I'm impressed with the decision here to target the Gothic pikes and then let the Germanic archers waste their volleys on the Persian bows. So I really like this, because look at the ammo on the Germanic archers, it's like almost nothing. And the Persian bows are still on the field. They're still doing damage to the Gothic pikes. This is insane. I mean, I really like this. I never thought about this before, because honestly, I don't really... I was never actually in a position like this myself. Or seen anything like this before in a tournament. So, I definitely like this, what the Armenian king is doing. I think it's amazing. And more people should do it more often. Like, this decision to just ignore the opponent's skirmishers, let him waste his ammo on you, and then killing his pikes while your bows are getting shot at, and really cheap bows as well. I mean, just brilliant, I think. And it may look like a small thing, but it's actually gonna make a very big difference this game, I think. Because look, these two Gothic pikes on the flanks, 53, 50, and now in the center, 76 and 94. And still taking damage. Look, the Persian bows still have a bit of ammo on the left flank. But the Germanic archers are out of ammo. And they have only killed what? They have killed Persian bows. Which doesn't matter because the Persian bows have wasted all their ammo. Basically, right now. So, I mean... very, very cost-effective trade here for the Sassanid Empire. It's like... I don't even know how... It's like extremely cost-effective. He really got his money's worth out of the Persian bows this game. That is for sure, but it's taking some time, so I might as well just fast forward. Look at this Gothic pikeman unit. It's down to 62. 61. Oh, this one routed though. 59. 58. Probably final volley. 57, but they're missing a lot of the volleys though, these archers. Persian bows going to target this unit in the center. We'll see though. Kind of the unshielded side, but we'll see if they can actually target it. But Germanic archers are now useless. No ammo left. 0 ammo left on the Germanic archers. So now there will be an engagement for sure. But I wonder why these cataphracts are all the way out here. I don't see them necessary there. Kind of being moved wastefully, and now they are a bit exhausted. The pikes moving forward for the Visigoths. I mean, it would be funny if the Persian bows go for like a rear charge onto the Gothic pikes, because that possibility is definitely there, and I wonder how much damage they would do against depleted Gothic pikes. They probably wouldn't kill them. Well, I'm sure they wouldn't, but they might do an interesting amount. The Dynamite infantry here throwing their jabs off again at the Gothic pikes, doing even more damage here. But if they want to do that, they should have gone up further to get even better, more accurate volleys off. Looks like the Gothic pike's gonna be pushed up here, but the Persian bows are now just acting as meat shields. And probably the same thing for the Visigoths here, but I just can't stress enough how well that was played by the Sassanids. I still think using standard shot would have actually killed off all these Gothic pikes by now, but potentially, but still, wow, just look, this one's dead. This one's soon dead. Though the thing is, he used the javelins on his elite Dynamite infantry to get rid of the Gothic pikes, so that is questionable, especially as he pretty much is firing from like max range, so it's something to keep in mind. And now the archers are wasting their volleys. Their last volley onto this Germanic archer, definitely not good. They should have targeted this noble Gothic lancer, I think, or the Thracian warrior. Both of those would have been fine. Germanic archers targeting the Persian bows, and now the elite Dynamite infantry wasting their jabs onto the Germanic archers. That is not good at all. Looks like the Persian noble general is going to commit against the noble Gothic lancers. I am not sure about this. We'll see though. Ooh, the Thracian warrior is going to support, so this is a huge, potentially a game-losing mistake by the Sassanids here. I mean, if the Persian noble general dies, which as you can see is dropping really quickly, this could be game over. But elite Dynamite infantry coming in much quicker than the Germanic noble general, and they will get the support off much better as well, because they're better units than Germanic nobles. But now the Sassanids are sending in more units, and they're gonna get through this gap with the cataphracts. Should get a decent charge over here into the pikes and into the noble Gothic lancers. The Gothic lancers here didn't get the best charge off. Now this charge is not only going to kill archers, which actually isn't too great, but it's going to do a lot of damage to this Noble Gothic Lancer as well. Elite Daylamites coming in onto the flank as well. So I wonder whose general is going to die first. Probably the Sassanid one. Yep, it's down to 23. So that was a bit of a wasteful move by the Sassanids, I think. But because if the general dies for the Sassanids, this could well be over. Now these Gothic pikes might be routed by Persian bows. Wouldn't that be funny? And Thracian warriors engaging. This is a mistake, engaging the Persian bows. And yeah, at this point, Pershtig von Cataphracts going in. Persian noble general is still alive at 18 men. I mean, if the Persian noble general were to die here, it might be over for Sassanids. Actually, maybe not, because still so many elite Daylamites on the field. This Gothic pike's still alive and didn't really die against Archer in melee. Elite Daylamites here are gonna get flanked, I guess, by the Gothic pikes. Pershtig von Cataphracts pulling out of this engagement, which I think isn't a good idea, because they're kind of like engaged by the Noble Gothic Lancers, and now they're just gonna take extra damage from pulling away and just die. Still though, the Persian Noble General is still alive at 17 men in this massive blob. I mean, the Sassanid's gotta be, and it's still here, not dead yet. And that's insanely good for the Sassanids, because just if the general died, it would have been bad, like really bad. I mean, Thracian support here is alright, but so many elite Daylamites, just difficult to beat with like a couple of Thracian warriors. I mean, they're definitely gonna do decently well against these elite Daylamite warriors, but not in this situation, for sure, I think. So yeah, over here, elite Daylamites rear charged by Noble Gothic Lancers. This flank is gonna go to the Visigoths, but this one, I wonder though. Oh, it looks like Noble Gothic Lancers coming in at an angle, but not the best angle again. And Thracian warriors still hanging in here, doing the damage, but I mean, they haven't done too much here. Gothic pikes off the field as well. More Germanic archers coming in to support, but these Thracians got charged by the Pershtig von Cataphracts. These Germanic archers and Thracians still having a hard time breaking through the elite Daylamites here. And look at the general of the Sassanids, still alive at 12 men remaining. But that is insane. And just think about it, the Sassanids would have been in a horrible spot if that wasn't the case. Pershtig von Cataphracts pulled out to support this engagement here to block that Noble Gothic Lancer, I think. And now the Thracian warrior is routing off the field, because there's barely any of them. Mistake here with the Cataphracts though, didn't get the proper charge off onto the Noble Gothic Lancers, but at this point, so this flank is going to rout for the Sassanids, but Noble Gothic Lancers will be off the field. Thracian warriors will probably die soon enough as well, but I mean, the rest of the fight is basically gonna get finished soon. Look at these elite Daylamites. And this fight is gonna take long because they don't have the most insane attack power, but Germanic nobles are even weaker. So yeah, it's looking extremely good for the Sassanids here, which is quite funny to say, because I don't think Sassanids are too great of a faction. Now let's look at these Germanic nobles die here as they are engaging elite Daylamites. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a 2-1, I think. Still, some more units still left on the field for the Visigoths, but I mean, what are these Thracians gonna do? And just, the Sassanid general still didn't die, but the Visigoth one died, so that's extremely funny. Like how this general was able to survive. Now he's gonna go for a rear charge, and he's still probably not gonna die at 12 men left. Nope, he does not die. It's just, he was in that blob fighting Thracian warriors and fighting enemy cavalry as well, and he survived like a boss with 12 men left. I mean, he was insane. That was That was a very risky move for the Assassins, and I guess it actually paid off. But yeah, like it was very risky, very risky move with the general. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna see a surprising victory here, I suppose, by Armenian King. I'm talking about the faction matchups here because I didn't think the Assassins would do so well against the Visigoths, but looks like that was the case. Wow. Cataphract's doing well, Elite Dalemite's doing well, and Persian Bow's doing well. Basically everything pretty much being cost effective, especially those Persian Bows. They were amazing, to say the least. Yeah, that is game 3, currently 2-1 for Greek Iraklis. Still a match point for Iraklis. So we shall see you in game number 4. This is the 4th game of the series, and we have Iraklis playing as the Saxons and Armenian King playing as the Eastern Roman Empire. If Armenian King wins with Eastern Romans against Saxons, I will lose my mind, because I think this matchup looks, I don't know how to put it, it looks insanely bad for the Eastern Romans. Though Tagmata is allowed, so maybe it's not really as bad, but Tagmatas are not what they really used to be. But anyway, I'm going to look at the Eastern Roman Empire build. So let's see. Up front, we have 4 Menelautoi. Peculiar choice. Very strange. Then we have a bunch of Sagittari. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sagittari, followed up by 4 Protectores Domestici, bronze 2. Then we have the Palatino Guards, bronze 3 general with Warcry. And on each flank we have 3 Tagmata Cavalry, gold 3. So these guys are still they're still not bad in cavalry engagements, but now they are medium, so that is something to keep in mind for sure in cavalry engagements. So they're not really as good as they used to be. Basically the same thing as the Germanic horsemen. They're now weaker. But yeah, let's go over the Saxons now. We have Nordic Raid Leader, gold 3 with fast charge. What is this build? Wow. Okay, and let's see. How many Nordic Horse Lords? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 Nordic Horse Lords and a Saxon Lancer on each flank. What is this? Then up front we have 6 Nordic bows. And let's look at the infantry contingent. So how many Nordic Axe Warriors we have? 2 Nordic Axe Warriors, gold 3. Funny. And then we have 3 Nordic Axe Warriors, gold 3. 5 Nordic Axe Warriors, gold 3. What is this? That's just the ultimate glass cannon unit. It's just funny. And then we have 2 Elite Nordic Warriors, bronze 3 here. So, I mean, this build is very potent by Iraklis, but I don't think it's something that's like... I mean, I really don't see why you'd bring 2 Saxon Lancers instead of 2 Nordic Horse Lords. Like, that is just very strange. I guess he just wanted to have a bit of fun against Eastern Romans, but it is a tournament, so it might come back to haunt him if he loses this game, because it would be 2-2. So, we will see. And definitely, though, he has 6 Nordic bows against 6 Sagittari, so the engagement is going to be interesting. And Menelautoi, as you can see, they have a bit more armor and health than other pike units. They're already gonna get targeted. Let's see if Iraklis just does the same thing that Armenian King did to him last game. Now he focuses the pikes, and Armenian King focuses the archers. We could have that kind of engagement happening again. I guess that is the case, because it is happening. These Nordic bows targeting the Menelautoi, and these Sagittari targeting the Nordic bows. So I guess this time they exchanged who's getting that great engagement off. Nordic bows pulling back against the Menelautoi. But the thing is, the Menelautoi haven't taken much damage, and probably we really need to see standard shot against the Menelautoi instead of flaming shot. I think for sure, because these guys have 27 armor, so it's a bit more than regular pikes. I definitely think standard shot would really be more effective against them, but we'll see. So more of these shots actually hitting the rear of the Menelotoi, so now it's going to do some damage. But Nordic Horse Lords, are they really going to try and break through pikes? They'd be insane. I really don't see why they're up here. Are they just going to want to throw their jabs and then pull back? Is this really it? It looks like that. That's... okay, that's interesting. That is really interesting. And I guess it can do that because normally when he fights against cavalry, you only get time to throw one javelin volley, right? So maybe that's not such a bad idea at all, and I guess I kind of like it. But the thing about that, though, is that as he moved in, he got his Horse Lords shot by the enemy bows. So I wonder if that's truly an effective use or not. But he got a significant amount of kills on these Menelotoi pikes, so I guess I kind of dig his move, what he actually did here. Yeah, more engagements happening. These Nordic Horse Lords getting pulled away, as are the Lancers, but definitely with now, thanks to the fact that he only has 4 Nordic Horse Lords, I might actually give the cav advantage to the Eastern Roman Empire. 6 Stigmatas, gold 3, and yes, Stigmata is not the same thing they used to be, but they're still pretty decent units, to be fair. What is... that's crazy. I mean, I guess he tried to charge into these Menelotoi as they were not formed, but now the Nordic Horse Lord is going to take so much damage from these Sagittari, dropping to 56 men left, and now they're going to get shot in the rear, which means they're going to take even more damage. And now these elite Nordic warriors, it looks like they're getting focused, and that's not the best choice, I think, because the elite Nordic warriors, they have 53 armor, and so that's like very difficult to kill them. But now the Nordic Horse Lord is going to get focused instead. That's really good. Also, the Nordic Axe Warriors could be targeted, and looks like that is the case. Gold 3 Nordic Axe Warriors. Yum yum for the archers. So I really like this, what the Sagittari are doing now, because they were being wasted before, normally. But they still got some excellent shots off onto the Nordic Horse Lords, so something to keep in mind. Menelotoi here, down to 68, so I think the elite Nordic warriors, when they throw their jabs off, oh, they killed so many. Now they're just gonna pull back. Very, very, very interesting, and I really like this by the Saxons here. I really like this. And now these Sagittari, are they going in for the melee? Because they could just get charged by cavalry and get completely destroyed off the field. Now these elite Nordic warriors can just charge into the Menelotoi and kill them. So elite Nordic warriors against Protectores Domestici. I think we know who's gonna win that fight pretty clearly. Menelotoi here getting frontally charged by elite Nordic warriors, so I wonder about that. That's not what you would want to do. Yeah, this unit's gotten a good amount of kills, so now the Protectores Domestici can come in and support. Axe Warriors getting shot at, and this is going to be really painful for the Axe Warriors, but they're also going to get a charge. Not the best charge, but still going to do damage. It still should do significant casualties. Yeah, the charge still did a significant amount of kills, even against Protectores Domestici, which have, as you can see, a lot of armor and health. But they're mostly tanky units, not really offensive units. Tagmata going to engage Nordic Horse Lords here. It's going to be an interesting fight. But another Nordic Horse Lord is going to get into the Sagittari here. The Sagittari here are going to be routed off the field. Tagmata's trying to help. And the Tagmatas here going to die to Saxon Lancers? Oh yeah. Interesting. Saxon Lancers doing so much damage to the Tagmatas. Now the Nordic Axe Warriors here. Oof. All these Protectores Domestici are running away from the Axe Warriors because they don't want the axes to kill them. But at this point, it's looking so bad for the Eastern Romans, honestly. Nordic Axe Warriors here are going to kill the Tagmata Cavalry. And yeah, this Tagmata Cavalry is going to die to Saxon Lancers and Nordic Axe Warriors. And gold 3 Nordic Axe Warriors again, so keep that in mind. Palatino Guards are a bit behind, so they can't really offer the bonus to the troops yet. He was even unable to use Brace, so that is, or the Warcry ability, so it's a little bit unfortunate for him. Axe Warriors here are doing odd stuff. But this engagement, oh, Tugmana's gonna get rear charged here. It's bye-bye Tugmana time. So as you can see, Tugmana's not doing too badly for themselves, but they are not what they used to be at all. And these Axe Warriors broke through here with the Saxon Lancers support. And these Axe Warriors might actually die to these two Protectores Domestici. I don't know what these Menelori are doing though. They're doing weird things. They're getting chased by elite Nordic warriors. These units are firing, but the thing is they're kind of obstructed as all these three units are in each other, so they can't get the proper shots off. Nordic Horse Lords here, I don't know what they're doing because they definitely had an opportunity to go through there and get to those archers. May have gotten stuck on the enemy units. And a lot of here are... their pikes are up, so the Saxon Lancers take... and these three cavalry units take significant casualties. But the question is, is it actually going to matter at the end of the day, because it looks like this Axe Warrior still survived. It's actually throwing more javelins and killing the Tagmata cavalry, interestingly enough. So here, the Manalore got swarmed by like all these units, and now these poor bows are just gonna get charged now by these cavalry units and these axes. Poor bows, poor archers. Yeah, send them screaming to the afterlife, indeed. Look at the skulls just chopping these guys down. No hope for these archers at all in melee. But yeah, very, very nicely done here by the Saxons. As you can see, pretty convincing victory as well. But I mean, what can you do with Eastern Romans? You have a really rough time against the Saxons. So yeah, it's going to be game. Because I mean, the Eastern Romans really, the best thing they had was the Tagmata cavalry, and once that got nerfed, like the other units are not so good. They're mostly tanky, and yeah, they have pretty cheap crossbows, but the archers are bad. So not a lot they have going for them, honestly. The Romans, just cheap tanky infantry mostly, and cheap ballistari crossbowmen. But that is it though, and looks like Iraklis is going to win this match 3-1 and advance to semi-finals. Very, very interesting match here, for sure. And I really liked what both players brought, especially Iraklis. I thought his builds were very, very interesting. But my favorite game though has to be the Sassanid game by Armenian King. I really liked what he did there. But yeah, that is game. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment or subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you. Whoops. Next time.